Do you think that water pollution is worse now than it was in the past?
Yes, the water pollution happening right now is not getting any better, but worse. Since the total population in the world reached 7 billion, most of our waste go into water polluting and contaminating it. In fact, in 2019, our record of waste was 9,333 per day, while in 2021, it has already reached 11,953 as per Mr. Benny Antiporda, the Environment Undersecretary.
Yes, I believe that it is getting worse. Right now, according to Christina Nunez of the National Geographic, water pollution is rising globally as it affects world's fresh water and threatens both humans' life and animals' health because of the various kinds of waste we produce.
Yes, and even there is a pandemic, the garbage waste produced almost doubled due to millions of gloves, face masks, and PPEs among other medical related things we consume every day. It resulted to contaminate waters because most of it goes straight to our bodies of water.
What reflections go into a judgment such as this?
I believe that water as defined as universal solvent because of its many uses. We should not let water of all forms suffer from our lack of discipline and our negligence, leaving the water being contaminated and with presence of pollutants.
I believe we have to start now by first recalibrating our minds and then redirecting our steps towards in improving the water quality without compromising the future generation. We need to resolve these issues as soon as possible in order for us to avoid water pollution from getting worse.
We have to learn by navigating the most possible and feasible ways towards water conservation, quality improvement, and strictly implement proper solid waste management to avoid this environmental issue involving water pollutants, destroying bodies of water, and always seek for sustainable development.
How does your personal experiences influence your opinion?
I have seen cases and even much worse in different places I have been into like Manila Bay and other nearby areas or municipalities where bodies of water are contaminated and garbages are scattered in these places polluting it.
I have lived in Palawan for the past 20 years of my life. Palawan, renowned as the Philippines' last frontier, it is known for its crystal clear oceans and river waters. Since then, our community from Brooks Point, Palawan hasn't had any floods, except for the last October 2021 when Typhoon Mary caused havoc on us. This, I believe, have occurred as a result of an illegal mining company working without the mayor's permit nor the consents of the local residents.
Here in my hometown, we are known as the City of Seven Lakes. I can say that water pollution is truly affect the different body of water, especially in one of the lake here in my hometown, the Sampaloc Lake. Because of the people visited in this spot, you can see at the lake the different trash coming from the store along the lake. And for me, it is bad, especially for different lake creatures like fish and many more. And we all know that the lake has no passageway to filter the water from the trash. All you can do is to clean the lake manually by using a boat without a gas.
What additional information would you need to make a judgment about whether conditions are getting worse or better?
The situation is getting worse because additionally, United Nations stated that since we live in a developing country with rapid and fast population growth, it leads us towards extreme poverty, pollution of all forms including water, environmental degradation, urbanization, agriculture, and effects of industrialization, among others, which all are contributing factors in reducing water quality and water purity.
The situation is deteriorating because of UNICEF's Katrina Iborra has stated that for many years, Filipinos with a population of 30 millions have had insufficient access to decent sanitations and amenities. It has remained an issue because we are required to expend all of our energy only to obtain water that is cleaned and not contaminated, and we are obliged to do so due to a water shortage.
Water pollution is getting worse because of our lack of human discipline and because of our irresponsible decisions. We forgot to foresee that this environmental issue affects us already in various ways, such as we are exposing ourselves to various respiratory and other diseases like breathing problems, chronic diseases, premature mortality, among others.
How would you weigh different sources, types, and effects of water pollution in our country?
In weighing the sources, types, and effects of water pollution and how we will prioritize it, we would like to emphasize this with my group members into the Philippines setup. Among these three, the most important to keep focus on is the water pollution and its effects on human health and the environment. And as a citizen of a developing country where sanitation access lacks, it is with great sadness that water pollution have been killing many lives and causes diseases to human health for many years. Contaminated waters in our country causes us to be ill, and sometimes those Filipinos who do not have enough access to healthcare dies of diseases they acquire from contaminated waters because they are closer to polluted places and polluted areas in our country. Second, to the environment. We have been not so aware for how water pollution has been destroying our environment, making animals and wildlife hard to survive. And we have to focus also on this because in order to thrive, healthy ecosystems should have interactions without suffering from life-threatening problems because they made environment balanced as well.
The second thing we need to fix is the types of pollution in water that affects us, which are the non-point source, groundwater, and surface water. We need to have discipline and concern about bodies of water by being compliant and responsible to the rules because our single act of irresponsibility causes water to be polluted, and this is what we call non-point sources pollution in water. Second, the groundwater. Although this is the least visible, but this is also an important source for some fellow Filipinos because they rely on the groundwater as the source of their drinking water. So if we pollute this, we also cause people to suffer. The last one will be the surface water. Simply, let us nurture and implement guidelines in taking care of the lakes, rivers, and oceans where a lot of people live nearby, and we need to educate them to be responsible in their waste disposal for them not to be exposed to diseases caused by water pollution.
Agricultural sector is the highest and biggest consumer of water, not only in our country but also across the globe. We have to prioritize this because if not, crops and other agricultural products will suffer if waters that will be used in irrigation and farming are all contaminated. Also, this is one of the key drivers in water degradation. Next is the sewage and wastewater. Despite the fact that we lack proper facilities like restroom in our country, sewage systems still remain one of our problems, and we have to keep an eye on this because this is one of the contributing factors that pollutes the water. The third is the industrial waste. We have to implement strict ordinances that punishes establishments that does not comply to environmental accepted standards and proper sanitation, which their waste contributes to water pollution.